Morning students, this lesson is of class 9th for the subject of physical education. Topic: Importance of anatomy and physiology, which is covered in chapter 1, the human anatomy and physiology, starting on page number 2 of your textbook, titled Health, Physical Education and Sports, and is being submitted to you 10th May 2021. This voice is of Ms. Kusum. If all students are ready, then let us start with the topic importance of anatomy and physiology. All of you, please listen carefully as I will be asking a few questions in between the chapter. Importance of anatomy and physiology. The effects of exercise on our body, and for the efficient use of our body parts, we must the structure and function of various parts of our body. Our body is a complex system. It is made up of many organs. For example, heart is the key organ of circulatory system. The stomach is an organ of digestion. The lungs are the organ of respiration, and the muscles are organs of movement, etc. These organs are interlinked and interdependent on each other. First, knowledge of structure of organ system. The study of anatomy and physiology helps us to understand the pattern of growth and development of various organ system. In children, it helps us in planning proper activities for them. Second point, knowledge of functions of organ system. The functions of various systems are studied in physiology. It helps to build knowledge about the effects of exercise on various organ systems as their capacities and capabilities can be enhanced by sports training. Lung capacity, heart capacity, and adaptation to training load are studied in physiology. Third point, talent identifications and selections of sports. Anatomy and physiology helps in the identification of right athlete for particular sport. The size and structure of the body and the functions of various organs system of the athlete are studied. His strength or weakness are identified and he is placed in the sports best suited to his abilities. Fourth, preparation of training module. A training program for an athlete is customized to suit his needs and is effective if it improves his fitness and performance. Knowledge of anatomy and physiology is required to prepare an effective training module for different sports person. Coaches and teachers of physical education should have the knowledge of human body systems and exercise physiologically before preparing the training modules. Fifth, prevention of sports injuries. Sports injuries are very closely associated with training and sports competitions. The nature of load, adaptation of load, overload, and recovery are studied in exercise physiologically. The knowledge of exercise physiologically, one can prevent sports injury of joints and ligaments. Knowledge of different functions of body systems helps in preventing sports injuries. Sixth, management of sports injuries. Injuries are unavoidable in the field of sports. Sports injury may happen due to multiple reasons, and its management and proper treatment is necessary. Having the knowledge of anatomy and exercise physiologically helps athletes recover fast. The knowledge of anatomy and exercise physiology is added advantage for management of sports injuries. Students, before going further in this chapter, let me ask a few questions. You may kindly listen to the questions carefully and pause the audio for 3 minutes and write down the answers in your notebook. The questions and answer of this chapter are enclosed with the assignment PDF for your reference and will not be recorded in the video and audio lessons. So continue types of joints, movement and physical activities. So this is the second subtopic in this chapter which is covered in your book. So this topic is types of joints, movement, the movement of joints in your body. There's a specific names, specific exercises correlated with the movement. So we just discuss types of joint movements and physical activities. First, flexion, bending parts at a joint so that the angle between them decreases and parts come closer together. Second, extension, straightening parts at a joint so that the angle between them increases and the parts move further apart. Straightening the femur and tibia at the knee and humerus and radius and ulna at the elbow. Extension movements are seen at hinge, condylence, sandal and ball and socket joints of the limbs. Third, abduction, movement apart from the midline, lifting the upper limb horizontally to form a right angle with the side of the body. Other example of abduction are raising the arm at the shoulder joint and spreading the fingers or toss apart. Abduction's movements are seen in condylent, sandal and ball and socket joint. This diagram shows the movement of extension, both extensions, and this is flexion, down movement and upward movement, back side. So this is the extension and flexion. Abduction, movement apart towards the midline, returning the upper limb from the horizontal position at the side of the body. Other examples of adductions is bringing the fingers or toes together. Adduction movements are usually seen in the condylent, sandal and ball and socket joint. Circumduction. It is that movement which takes place between the head of a bone and its articular cavity. The kind of movement is best seen in the shoulder and hip joint. It is composed circular movement which involves flexion, extension, adduction and abductions. In circumduction, a part moves in such a way that its end follow a circular path. Moving a finger in circular motion without moving the hand. This is the movement. This is my thumb and the movement like this. So this is the movement of circumduction. Rotation is a form to movement in which a bone moves around a central axis without undergoing and displacement from the axis, twisting the head from the side to side. Rotation can also occur at the ball and socket joints of the shoulder and hip. Internal rotation, the movement of the arm at the shoulder joint or the thigh at the hip joint that brings an anterior surface of the limb towards the middle line of the body is called internal rotation. So this is a diagram of extension, abduction, adduction, circumduction, rotation shows you the movement of the joints. External rotation, the movement of the arm at the shoulder joint or thigh at the hip joint that moves the interior surface of the limb away from the midline of the body, it also called lateral rotation. So that's all for today. Homework question is in your PDF file. Thank you, students.